Thanks for purchasing the PinSight HDD. Get the following components ready for installation: an LVDS video cable, your HDMI signal splitter board, a bezel, some magnets and PCB standoffs, and your HDD screen. Pull that out of the packaging, and be very careful with this ribbon cable as it can tear easily. Go ahead and open it up. Snap the bezel right onto the front, making sure that the gap covers the ribbon cable. Now flip it over and take your magnets and place them centered on the left and right hand side of the screen. Now take the black magnets and place them on the left and right hand side of the PCB board. Now take the four standoffs and snap them into the back of the PC board. Finally, take your LVDS cable and you will want to plug the black end without electrical tape into the PCB board. You will notice that the red wires go closest to the white connector. Remove your back glass. At this point, we will want to remove the video cable. Simply press on the tab and pull it out. Next, take your video cable and plug it into the PCB board, making sure that the pins are overlapped by one. Now, you can remove the tape and go ahead and stick the PCB board into the back box. I recommend the position that you see here. It is possible you will need to remove this nut in order to move the wire loop. Next, plug the LVDS cable to where we remove the video cable. This must be perfectly centered. You will have a set of pins exposed on either side. Put back pressure on the board as to not damage it. This absolutely must be seated correctly and firmly. At this point, go ahead and turn your machine on and make sure you see a good display. If you see a white screen or a garbled screen, your connections are not correct. Now you will want to run your HDMI and USB cables down into the cabinet. I suggest using the right-hand side. Go ahead and plug in your HDMI cable. And plug your USB cable into the USB port. If you do not have a free USB port, you can use a standard cell phone charger in the power port shown here. Route your wires nicely in the provided clips. You want to run the wires and attach them underneath the playfield to make it easy to raise and lower the playfield if needed. Bring the wires up towards the apron area. As you can see, I have attached them to mine with the zip ties. This will vary for the different games out there. At this point, you will want to remove the apron for easy access. If you have a QR reader, be very cautious. Don't ask me how I learned this lesson. You will remove 2 screws and 2 nuts underneath the playfield. So go ahead and remove the apron. Now pull the apron off and set it on a good work surface. You will want to place the PCB board underneath the apron as shown, attaching with the magnets. You could put it on the left or right if you wanted to change the position of your screen. I prefer it centered. Now flip the apron over and attach the magnets to the front of your apron. Always be careful with the ribbon cable. It is very sensitive. Once you have done this, I suggest you use some tape to flatten out the ribbon cable. The orange area of the ribbon cable with the circuitry can rip very easily. I do not suggest putting tape over that, as I learned a lesson the hard way that when removing it, you could damage it. At this point, plug the small USB power cable into the board. Either port is fine. And then plug the HDMI cable into the board as well. Put the apron back on, making sure to route the wires cleanly and not damage the HDD. Go ahead and fire up your machine and see if everything works.